His Holiness, as a continuation of what you answered, Arun, as a die-hard optimist, what would you expect and hope for Tibet? And as an extreme pessimist, what is the worst that can happen to Tibet? And what would you expect the world to do for Tibet, which will take it to where you want Tibet to reach? Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I think our hope is remain within the People's Republic of China. And the material development, of course, Chinese can help immensely. And meantime, as I mentioned earlier, Tibetan Buddhism is actually China as a country. Before Buddhism reached Tibet, Buddhism already reached in China, I think at least 3-4 centuries earlier. So I always describe Chinese Buddhist brothers, sisters, our senior student of Buddha. We are junior. So now, that great nation, the traditional value in the past sometimes deliberately destroyed. And the new Marxist classless society completely failed to bring. So, in the minds of millions of Chinese, something lacking, empty. Their Buddha's message of love, message of compassion, can help. And the people from China, most populated nation, become more compassionate nation, is everybody's interest, not only over billion human beings sort of interest, but also whole world. So I think there are, positive sort of scenario. Already, I think few 100,000 Chinese already following Tibetan Buddhism. Unfortunately, some Tibetan lamas, false lamas, exploiting. That a little bit damage. Otherwise, you see, there are truly millions of, few 100,000, around a million or so, you see, they're following. So that's one way. The worst thing, I describing nowadays Tibetan nation passing through something like death sentence and clearly military occupation. If this situation remains another 10, 15 years, Tibet then finish. That's the worst scenario. Then, I mean, Kaza, you mean world, how much can world support Tibet? That's the question. That's a difficult question. Now, particularly at this moment, you see economic crisis, global economic crisis. Recent decades, People's Republic of China has made a lot of money. So I think generally, I always see mentioning, describing our supporters in many parts of the world, particularly in Europe, in America, in Canada, and Australia, in Japan, and of course in this country. You see, these are supporters. I do not consider as a pro-Tibetan, but rather pro-justice. So in human blood, respect justice is there. Of course, money sometimes you say manipulate, right? Manipulate here and there, money and power. But naturally, in our blood, appreciation of justice is there. So naturally, another human brothers, sisters suffer, like Kasati, Africa, Kasati. Kasa, 它的名字就是 Darfur. Thousands people, you see, dying and killing. Normal human being without a response is impossible. Dying mother carrying child. So that's the basis of hope in human society, in global world, in the blood. There is sort of respect or appreciation of justice. So therefore, I think already, I think Tibet issue is in a way a quite old issue, and issue dealing with very powerful nation, so difficult. In spite that, many organizations, many individuals, many parliamentarians, always sort of showing their concern about Tibet. It is helpful. So this will continue. Like that. Yes? Next question?
Yeah. Good.
Your Holiness, I'm Koyal Puri. You talked about bringing compassion into one's heart. Do you believe by nature human beings are essentially good or bad? And if they are good, then where does this motivation for hate and killing and doing evil things come from?
As I mentioned earlier, human beings are social animal. Social animal means each individual's survival depends on the rest of the community. So combining, right, coming together, not by force, but by emotion. That is human affection, human compassion. And then, you see, particularly the tremendous care, tremendous sort of willingness, sacrifice mother's own difficulties for sake of child. There are immense sort of motivation, immense emotion. That's compassion. So therefore, and as I mentioned earlier, our health, this physical, goes well with peace of mind or compassion. Not go well with hatred, anger. Constant hatred, anger brings more sort of stress, more turbulence in our mind, and very bad for our health. So therefore, basic human nature is more gentleness, more compassionate, no question. However, basically, again, anger, hatred is biological factor for our survival. Love, compassion is emotion which bring the facilities for survival, bring together. Anger, hatred is expel the
Disagreeable things.
the harmful thing, expel harmful thing. So biologically, both are sort of the part of our emotion which need for our survival. if these go more balanced way, but meantime, I think 24 hours, love, compassion, much more rule. Hatred, anger, occasionally. And therefore, anger, hatred, although part of our mind, part of our emotion, but through reason, through training, we can reduce that. Here, one big sort of difference is destructive emotion cannot promote by training. Positive emotion can strengthen, can promote through training, through reason. Such as compassion, positive emotion, there is solid basis. So you can use reasons. Valid. Valid cognition. The negative emotion, destructive emotion, spontaneous, but no basis of valid mind. So therefore, you cannot train. These differences. So now intelligence and ignorance. Intelligence, there is basis. So therefore, we can train from A, B, C, D, from kindergarten up to university level. Ignorance, just ignorance. There is no way to train ignorance. No base. So all positive emotions, there is solid basis. So use that, used by human intelligence, we can train like that.
Your Holiness, my name is Pavan Munjal. The fountainhead of your talk today was the mother. And in this land of ours, which is your home today, the female gender, the girl child, is not getting the best of treatment. So considering that the girl child is tomorrow's mother and she is going to influence the society tomorrow, don't you think we are heading for real trouble? And do you have a simple message or some simple solution for all of us?
Now, when human society, human civilization start, very small family or very small sort of population, at that time, no idea of leadership. All family members work together, share whatever they get together. Then gradually, as the number increase, with that, the concept of we and they become stronger. So then it becomes necessary, leadership. So at that time, education not there. So leadership, like other animal, the physical strength is the real sort of basis of leadership. More physical sort of the strength become leadership. So that is the way male dominance is to come. Now in modern time, education become important role in the society. So as far as education is concerned, brain is concerned, same, male and female. So eventually becoming more equal. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I always expressing that, including my recent talk in the European Union, I express Now, time is come. Pay more attention about warm-heartedness or compassion. So therefore, in order to promote compassion, female, physically, biological factor, more sensitivity about others' suffering. I have some stories. I noticed, you see, one occasion my sort of a flight, I think from Tokyo to America or somewhere, quite long, night sort of long journey. So in the plane, one couple with 2 children, one a little bit older, I think maybe 6, 7 years old. The other one, very young. So running here and there and here and there, shouting like that. So at the beginning, both parents is looking after these, particularly the younger one. And about midnight, the father simply just slept. No longer botheration about the children's sort of kasuda, or the child. The mother, till next morning, till we reach the destination, the mother, the whole night, carry care, sacrifice her own sleep. And next morning, I noticed her eye become very red. That's one example. Biological factor. The female, their body, more sensitivity about others' pains. So therefore, and I think world history, all heroes, so-called hero, who are in a way murderer, killing millions of people. Most cases, these are male, very few female. Of course, some exceptional female may be there. Otherwise, you see, the biological factor. So therefore, I stress, now time come in order to promote human compassion. Now, female must take more active role about promotion of human compassion. So, for wider perspective, that's very, very important. But short term, physically, female, little, weaker. So, working, making money, parent prefer son rather than daughter. That I think due to short-sighted. That's my view. And then some cases, I think in this country, the caste system also bad. And also some practice. I don't know detail what called dowry system. And some of these things, I think, outdated. Now, with our new constitution, equality, I think the NGOs and the individuals and also media people, I think should promote, should make clear some of these because of the outdated sort of thinking. That's how I feel. Of course, if I made mistake, apologize.